So welcome everyone to Films with the Women in My Life. My name is Brennan, and joining me tonight is Jess.
Hey, all you people.
Oh, I see what we're doing. And Mama K.
Oh.
And
hi, Jessica. And
Call
Brennan.
me by my 3-syllable name.
yeah, she doesn't like that. It's only when she's in trouble.
Your given name.
Yeah. Tonight, we're doing You People. You People.
You People.
You People is a
Hey,
2020...
all you people.
Hey, all you people.
Do you know what I'm saying, Brennan, when I say it like
Yeah,
that?
I know the next line. Won't you
Okay,
listen
good.
to me? Yeah.
I
They'll,
want a sandwich, but no ordinary sandwich.
a sandwich filled with jellyfish jelly.
Jellyfish jelly. Okay.
Yeah,
I just want to
people
make sure you knew what I was saying.
will hear more about that probably on another episode.
You people, come on, let's go.
You People is a 2023 romantic comedy thing, and it is on Netflix. It's about 2 hours long. It's directed by the gentleman that made Blackish, Kenya Barris. Kenya Barris, he made Blackish.
Wait, I thought
and
Jonah Hill made this.
Jonah Hill wrote this with Kenya Barris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah, Jonah Hill, Kenya
Got it.
Barris wrote it together. They're producers on it, and then Kenya Barris directed. This is his directorial debut. He's mostly a writer, but yeah, made the TV show Blackish and the spin-off shows Grownish and Old. I don't know what all the issues. I think I've seen.
Oldish.
What's the one where she's in college? I've seen a little of that one. That was all right. I don't know. You guys don't watch TV either, right?
Deadish.
I watch TV sometimes.
As
I don't watch regular TV. No.
I don't watch sitcom-y kind of TV anymore, really.
Yeah.
This, under the new show format, is a Jess selection. So, Jess, what drew your attention to this? I'm guessing it wasn't the Rotten Tomatoes score this time.
No, it wasn't. I think I just saw an ad for it on TikTok, and it looked funny, and you asked me to pick a movie, and I was like, well, this looked funny. It was on TikTok. Let's do this.
I'll take it. A new couple and their family.
An advertisement.
There you go. It worked. Their ad got us to directly watch and subsequently talk about it more. So, good for them.
Yeah.
Right.
A new couple and their families reckon with modern love amid culture clashes, social expectations, and generational differences. Doesn't that sound hilarious to you? It has got... It's got a...
It sounds like it was made in 1975, to be honest with you.
Does it sound like Look Who's Coming to Dinner?
A little bit.
42% on Rotten Tomatoes, 37% with the audience, 5.5 on IMDb, 50% Metacritic. So... low to middling.
You just mashed up.
Tomatoes?
It's got a 42 on Rotten and 37 with the audience. It's actually lower with the audience than the critics. Yeah. And then
That makes sense, though.
5.5 on IMDb and 50 on Metacritic, which is about, it's pretty middle. It's low to middling. Not a disaster according to critics, but certainly not praiseworthy. We'll see if we disagree or if we agree. Because we're going to spoil it here now. So if you have any interest in watching You People, it is on Netflix. And spoilers are coming at you right now. So Ezra Cohen is the Jonah Hill character. He's a 35-year-old stockbroker and podcaster. He's only stockbroker for about 5 minutes. And he falls into an unlikely relationship with fashion designer Amira Muhammad. They have a what they think is a racist moment that turns into a meet cute. And so then they fall in love. They fall in love and everything's going to be great, right? This nice interracial couple, very modern, but their parents are not as easy to deal with. The main two parents we are following are Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, who is Jonah Hill's mom, and Eddie Murphy's character, who is Amira's dad. He is I don't know if he's literally a member of the Nation of Islam, but he has the hat. Sorry, I don't know the name of the hat. The kufi, is that what it's called? Kufi. Kufi. He gives his little statements and speeches about the modern black man and the world and his religious beliefs and all kinds of other stuff. And then Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character is pretty stereotypical Jewish mom character who puts her foot in their mouth and says things she probably shouldn't and doesn't have social awareness. And
loves her son so much. Oh my gosh, she loves him so much.
That's what she says, and then you throw that in with some other side stock characters from actors you recognize. We'll talk about the standouts and the not standouts as we go. But it's a rom-com with racial and religious stuff going on, and that's enough to kick us off. Jess, as your pick, you can lead us. What did you think of You People?
Okay, so I usually am not the rom-com kind of girl, and I don't think this is your traditional rom-com. It wasn't really cheesy, or it was kind of predictable, but I think you can follow it more as a comedy. Honestly, until the last 20 minutes, I think that you're like, okay, this is just like a stupid rom-com. But as starting from the beginning, I could tell Jonah Hill wrote this just because of the comedy. His comedy is very specific, and his writing is also very specific. It almost seemed like it was stand-up, like one person passes the mic to another person and they just talk. I feel like his comedy is kind of
it's very back and forth
and babbling and the awkwardness, and that's it. So I feel like it took me a little bit to get used to that, because I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to be just awkward talking the entire movie? But it had more context to it. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty funny. There were some really good parts. We can talk about the ending, because I feel like all of us consensually hate the ending. I'm going to just predict that's how it's going to go down. But I thought it was a good ride. I laughed. It was definitely funny, and until the ending kind of ruined it all.
All right, so Jess liked most until the end. That's where we're kicking off. Passing it to Mama K.
Yeah.
I agree with it's more of a comedy than a rom-com. I mean, the romance is just sort of the reason to have the comedy, it feels like to me. And you're right, it feels very like a Jonah Hill joint. And there were times when I did laugh out loud, but it was really tempered by the length of scenes that were about 150% too long. Several times during the movie. I actually watched this with a friend, and she's like, I feel like we've been watching the same scene for 15 minutes. And I'm like, we've been watching it for quite some time. And while it's funny, Jonah Hill is very distracting for me. He also he's one of those people that I get cringe with. And so he makes me very uncomfortable when I watch him. I'm not sure if that's by design and if everyone feels the same discomfort I do, but
not specifically with Jonah Hill. I mean, there's tons of cringe in this movie.
Uncomfortable, yeah, is the right word.
Oh, there's cringe in this movie beyond that, but he sets it for me, and so I'm already
I think that's a
on
you
edge.
Thing. That might be a you specific thing.
I'm sure it's a you. It's a me thing. It's also, his stupid hair. What?
I was about to be like, is it his hair? Is that what it is?
I mean, it's not his hair, but I mean, his hair exacerbates it.
It just makes him look dirty,
for me
because it always just looks greased back.
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Nobody does this. I don't know what you're doing.
He looks like the expat American who goes and lives in a Bahama island for 3 years and becomes like a excursion instructor guy. That's the vibe I get. Or
he's just, stranded on a deserted island and can't bathe or sleep because he always looks like his eyes have been opened up with toothpicks. I mean, oh my God. He did have just that really
kind of pirate-esque, sweaty, hot, oily, leather skin kind of look.
He was there was a lot of sheen on him. His hair, his body, I didn't like it. And I like seeing Eddie Murphy in movies. This movie was just really over the top for me. I thought it was way too stereotypical. And like I said, you said, Look Who's Coming to Dinner. That's a mashup of Look Who's Talking and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. But
did I mess up?
It's fine.
You know what I meant.
I mean, it feels like that, but not like that at all, because that movie, everything is undertones in that movie. Everything in this movie is in your face. I don't know why either one of them want to be involved with each other after meeting the other's family at all. When they go their separate ways, I'm like, okay, good, in this movie now. But we have to put the rom in the rom-com. So
interesting. So you guys,
I didn't. It was funny. I didn't really like it. It made me too uncomfortable on a couple of levels. So we can talk about that. But just the Jonah Hill level for sure.
I don't know where I'm at yet with this. I'm pretty on, as far as a thumbs up, thumbs down, I'm pretty on the fence. Because there are moments in this movie where I was gonna rip my skin off and like crawl. Like I like cringe. There are some scenes in this that are so unbelievably cringy to me that I can't. It's very hard for me to watch, and I like bad stuff. Like not bad.
Really, I usually don't like that stuff, so I'm surprised.
I feel like the ones that are cringe, it's cringe only because of the character. Like they're too stereotypical. The Eddie Murphy character is just way too much. And the same with the Julia Louis-Dreyfus character. It's like, why did you have to make them so
They're
far?
cartoon
Whereas
characters.
the scenes that could be cringe, I found that could be cringe because of what is happening in the scenes. I found those to be the most hilarious things, like when he had to go to the barbershop. And
that's not bad. I like that.
I think that's funny. I was sitting with somebody who doesn't really know anything about the culture, I guess is what you want to say.
The culture?
And when he went into the barbershop and everybody was dressed in blue and he was wearing a red sweatshirt,
you
I was
knew
like,
immediately.
we're going to play this. Yeah, we're playing this right now.
Right.
And I had to explain what was going on. So I thought there are things like that are clever and funny, but because they made two of the main characters just so unlikable, it was really hard.
The scene that cringed me to death was the dinner scene where they talked about Farrakhan's views at the former leader.
Dinner scene was very intense.
I was just like,
I'm
just like, I can't do this. And I say that, but the stuff that you guys didn't like, I liked the romance. I like Jonah Hill and Lauren London together. I like the last half
too. I hope that they're together in real life because I really like them as a couple.
I doubt they are, but
I doubt they are, but I
find them believable. I mean, if you look at it on the outside, you wouldn't think so, but I found them playing off one another believable.
Yes.
But again, I can't believe that either one of them would be able to maintain a relationship based on what was happening in their families, especially, the dinner scene.
Well, the goal of this movie, cringe. I mean, is it's a comedy and it wants to explore race and religion relations. That's what it wants to do, and interracial dating or marriage. Those are the themes, and it's a comedy, so it wants to do that. I would have liked this so much better if it was just Jonah Hill and Lauren London and their discoveries through together. Maybe not necessarily all their parents all the time. And, like, those things are the things that make that drive the conflict, where they walk into a place and they get a weird stare or something, like something like that. Mm-hmm. Because when we focus on the cartoon character parents, I mean, we're not talking about the other two parents, Nia Long and David Duchovny, because they're more backgroundy, but like, they're just so much. Like, it's just too, like, maybe it's very like 1996 writing. It's so like, it just feels like overbearing. And where I think, I was going to say, I disagree with you, Jess, that my favorite part's the last 20 or 30 minutes of the movie.
Oh my god. No way.
I like
That's the actual cringe. That's the actual cringe part.
No, I like the sentimental.
That is also cringe.
I like the sentimental conversations so much more than the comedy. I didn't laugh a lot in this. I laughed a couple times, and I wrote them down because I was like, I'm not laughing very much. I should keep track because that's what I do when I'm 20 minutes in and I'm like, I haven't laughed at this comedy. Tracker. It's just like, cause laugh tracker. This could have used a laugh track. Maybe that's why, he comes from the sitcom world, so it makes more sense. Kenya Barris. But it's just, oh man, there's definitely, like you said, the accidental Bloods and Crips shop, haircut shop, funny. The Jonah Hill can actually play basketball is kind of weird, but I don't know. I kind of like that.
Actually,
scene.
That was one of my favorite scenes.
I kind of like that.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
because I didn't see that coming. So
their meet cute, I really like. Their meet cute is one of my favorite parts, where he gets in by accident. He's like, "Oh, sorry," and she's like, snaps at him, "Oh, you just fuck another racist asshole white guy." And he's like, "No, you literally look like this person." And then he shows it to her, and she's like, "Oh fuck, I really look like that person." That's my favorite moment of the movie. I'm like, it just melts away
that too.
All the tension in the room, all the I don't, and then you just see it, you're like, oh, but my bad. Like, it's just a misunderstanding. I love that. I that's the kind of stuff. So I actually had I was kind of on a roller coaster with this movie. Maybe I'll end up on the right side just because of that. But yeah, there's parts of this movie where I'm like, I think during the dinner scene, or not during the dinner scene. What scene was it? Oh, spa scene. Or was it a spa? Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Lauren London are at like a desk.
You're right, the spa scene.
It was a spot.
Yeah.
I had to actually mute it because I couldn't listen to her talk. I couldn't listen to her do the "you're being racist" to the front desk employee because I knew the joke was coming. I knew the joke was going to be that the woman worked there and it was just another and I just couldn't watch it happen. It's just too much. I just couldn't do it. So I had a strong reaction to this movie, but it was not always positive.
I don't think I hated the parents as much as you did. I don't know. I thought they wthey didn't bother me as much as you did. Some things definitely were more funnier than others, but I think overall, I don't think I had the same reaction. I think the funniest scene was the Coke scene for me. I don't know why I find that so
Coke scene's pretty good. Felipe Esparza,
that was my
great
funniest.
Comedian. Yeah, there's...
Who was the guy? Who was that other guy? Do you know?
The Coke dealer?
The guy, not the Coke dealer, the one who was just like, call your guy, your Coke, you know what I'm talking about, your guy, your Coke guy.
Oh, I don't know who any of the friends were. Any of the
I thought they were like
were.
cameos of like people I should know.
No, you get like a weird like Rhea Perlman cameo, and you get a Elliot Gould cameo. You get a Mike Epps cameo, but like I don't really know what's going on here. Like it's very strange. It's like
there's a ton of cameos in that party. What party was that?
I think Anthony Anderson's a barber. Like there's just a lot of people popping up. And I said the Coke dealer is Felipe Esparza. He's a famous comedian. Like people pop up.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me find my moments that I actually chuckled. When Matt Walsh yells at Jonah Hill for greeting him incorrectly. That was the first time I laughed. Matt Walsh is his boss at the broker thing, and he gets mad that Jonah Hill greets him incorrectly, and then they squabble. That's kind of the comedy I think.
That's uncomfortable for me too, because Jonah Hill is so awkward. Like.
I kind of, but that stuff's
I know
okay.
He's supposed to be.
I don't know. That stuff doesn't cringe me. It's whenever it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus cringes me the most. I can't watch her in this. It's very hard to watch her in this. She's playing it correctly, but it's so.
She's really good. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I'm
sure her direction was to be over the top, but like
I was gonna say, I think she
top.
played her character well. Like that's what she was supposed to do, and she did it.
I think. Oh, yep.
Well, and I think she's supposed to be over the top, but she doesn't play it crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like she's totally buying into that her character is normal. You know that she's not a racist, and that she's just trying to, get to know this person in the way that.
And she can't see she's getting in her own way by being just so overbearing with the weird, like, it's hard to describe how, like, I don't know exactly how to put it into words. It's kind of why I like the scene where, and it's the part you guys don't like, apparently. It's the scene where the kids confront the other parents that they don't like, or like that haven't been getting along, when Ezra confronts Akbar and when Amira confronts Shelley. Like, I like that because I
don't think it's that part that I don't like. I don't like that they broke up and then their parents planned their surprise wedding together and they got back together.
Yeah. No, that's cheesy, but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean by the ending. That part I didn't like.
Okay, maybe I guess it's the last like 5 or 10 minutes. I like I like the scene where they dress each other's parents down and finally they finally address the parent, like, why are you being like this? Like, or at least that.
Yes,
Ezra's
I like that too.
Yeah, and I think Amira's character, because I can't put it into words right now, but Amira's character puts into words very well what Shelley's character is doing, and it's like, because I can't explain it, because like, she's not being mean, she just doesn't understand how she's coming across to people, and like it's just so much, and you don't know how to explain it to her. You don't know how to be like, don't talk about like her hair and nails that way. Like, don't like stop. Right. Like you don't know what you're doing. Like, stop doing it like that. Just like, and you don't. I sitting here, I don't know how to tell her to stop. You know, like Jonah Hill's so frustrated with her. Like, just stop, because I don't know how to tell you to not be like this. Like, I don't know how to tell you to stop making people uncomfortable, but just stop making them uncomfortable.
Exactly, and I mean, Jonah Hill's perspective, like, Amira's dad is just a complete asshole. Like, that's more obvious what the reason is.
And his character's somewhat interesting because we get like, at first you think he's like a hard ass, but then when we meet like his brother and we get a little more, you find out that like his real name's Woody. Like, it's totally, this guy's a gangster, his real name's Clarence. Like, he's got his big, he's got this big tough act on, and like, but he just adopted that name, and like, he's got the Islam depth of like a front of a Wikipedia page. Like, he's putting on airs, and like he's doing, you know, what he thinks is like the noble or whatever thing to do, and it's at the cost of his daughter's relationship to a seemingly perfectly nice guy. Our guy, the goat. The goat.
Oh my god, they said that many times.
The goat.
You know, the goat. I just love him because, you know, he says what's on his mind. And
greatest of all time.
He really
I know what the goat
sticks
means.
it to you.
Yeah, Malcolm, our guy. There's
see that all of that. No,
it does. As I'm saying, it does make me cringe. I don't know what it says. Like when Jonah Hill is being cringy in front of Eddie Murphy, it's not as like clawing my eyeballs out as Julie Louis-Dreyfus is in front of Amira, because when Jonah, because I guess I don't know exactly why. I think it's because Akbar already doesn't like Ezra. And so, like, Ezra fumbling and looking like a fool in front of Akbar is kind of, like, fun, I guess. Whereas Shelley thinks everything's fine with her and Amira, and we just have to watch Amira be the bigger person over and over again while Shelley, like, fumbles around. And that's way more uncomfortable to me. It's way more uncomfortable when both people think everything's fine and it's not fine, whereas the other relationship is much more, I don't like you, and the guy's like, no, but I'm trying to win you over. Like, that's more comfortable to me. Shelley grades on it.
I think it was hard for me to watch Eddie Murphy in such a serious character, because I always think of Eddie Murphy as like the goofball who's in like the kids movies, and he's just so serious and stern and strict that I'm just like, I was almost like, is this really Eddie Murphy? Because this doesn't even seem like it's demeanor at all. And then it brought me back to 21 Jump Street, where Jonah Hill had to face Ice Cube, and it should make me think of Ice Cube's character as more like Eddie Murphy.
It is kind of like Eddie Murphy does dramatic stuff, but when it's a comedy, Eddie Murphy's the funny guy. You don't really see Eddie Murphy in comedies where he's not the funny guy. Yeah, exactly. Like Daddy Daycare, underrated film. I stand by it. I don't care if it's 11%.
Love Daddy Daycare.
I do love Daddy. I do love that movie. I watched that movie.
I do too.
I've seen it like a dozen times. It's probably got like a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'll die.
Yeah, like the Haunted Mansion.
I was just gonna say Haunted Mansion. Yes,
that's more guilty pleasure. I think Daddy Daycare is a legit good movie, but yeah, Haunted Mansion.
But I just mean like Eddie Murphy being a goofball with kids and stuff, like just a funny guy, not
but Trading Spaces.
Or
quintessential Eddie Murphy movie.
Oh, remember Coming to America, Shrek? Jess?
No, not Coming to America.
I hated Coming to America, but yeah, like just more of a comedy role, not.
Just to be clear, we're talking about coming
to America.
We're talking Coming to America, the sequel. I like the original Coming to America, but not the sequel. Sequel not so good.
The two.
What other parts made me? Oh, when Eddie Murphy insists on Ezra telling him the title of who's in Paris exactly? Who's in Paris?
My gosh, that was really funny.
And he said, and why? See, the thing, part of it is like Amira's character is genuine, and Jonah Hill's character is not. He's a liar. Like he's trying to impress him with, I go and ball at Langston Hughes Park or whatever, and it's like, why are you even doing that? Why? That makes no sense to me.
I think that might be like a guy thing too, just like shooting the shit.
I think. He's trying to connect. Really? He's trying to connect, and he's. Well,
I understand.
But he's going too hard because of how much Akbar already disapproves of him. But like, I think. I mean, I agree with you. And it's not great writing where like Jonah Hill's character is kind of inconsistent. No. Like he is. I feel like when he's on his podcast with his friend, like they're genuine. And like I was saying that when I was watching this, I'm like, I think I'd rather listen to their podcast than watch the rest of this movie. Like I think I'd rather listen to
their podcast. Does seem pretty cool.
It does. It's about the culture. You know, I want to hear about that.
Yeah, I know, but they just used that and threw it away though. Like they use that as a sort of a a place where you could be like, okay, well, the Jonah Hill character is cool, so it's okay that he's, had this meet cute with this girl, and, he's already got a background where he's with the culture,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that. And I also don't believe he's a stockbroker ever. Not one time.
Oh, he
Not
quit,
for one
so,
second.
Yeah,
matter.
but he also exaggerated how he quit. Like, he told Amira that, like, he stuck it to his boss's face, and really he just, like, gave him the letter and ran away.
Yeah, that was... Yeah. See, there were comedy scenes like that and that fell flat. Like, I literally am pointing out every moment that made me laugh because all the other ones didn't. Because, I didn't... It was a low hit rate on the jokes.
Oh, man, I usually am not that laughable in comedies, but I think I laughed quite a bit in this.
Interesting. Yeah,
I think I might have laughed quite a bit, but I really despised Eddie Murphy's character. But I did two things that I really liked. One very small thing is when they're talking about Malcolm X and Muslim, and they're like, Sunni or Islam or nation, and they're like, oh, nation, and then he was all like, yeah, nation. Like, yeah. And then the other thing, when Jonah Hill was quitting his job, that guy, his boss,
Matt Walsh, yeah.
I don't know if you saw it on computer. He's had something on there from the Marvel movies, and it said, why are taxes so low in Wakanda or something like that?
Oh, it did?
I was like,
that's
what?
I didn't notice that at all.
No, me neither. That's fun Easter egg if that's in there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I think that there's probably a lot of little things in this. I did laugh quite a few times, but I think it was always at those things, those little tiny things, rather than the whole thing. Because I think it was written pretty poorly, acted
it's
fine,
clunky.
Way too long.
It is long. It shouldn't be 2 hours.
Some of the scenes are way too long. Yeah,
I liked the banter between him and his sister, like the first 5 minutes of the movie, like in the synagogue. I forgot what they were saying about each other, but it was actually like a really clever jab at each other.
I can't remember what that's called. They do that all the time on the Office kind of shows, and it's where they give them like the writers come up with like a dozen mean things to say to each other, and then the actors just go back and forth, and then when they cut it together, they cut the 3 or 4 best insults together. Like that, I'm sure that's exactly like while I was watching that, I'm like, this is probably 10 minutes of this, and then they cut it to 30 seconds of the best jokes, and it's fine. Like because I can see the mechanics. I thought it was
pretty clever. I thought that was funny.
Well, they must have picked.
I can't remember specifically what it was, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's actually pretty good." I wish someone would say something like that to me.
Any scene she was in, I thought was actually pretty funny. I thought she added
the sister.
She had some value added.
I think the sister could have been more involved with the story and the plot.
She wasn't involved at all.
Both the sister, but she wasn't involved at all. Or Omar. I think if the brother and the sister were involved a little bit more, like that could be a little bit interesting, but they really just had no purpose besides being the brother and the sister.
Well, that's why I kind of
had the purpose of them being of the family being woke, because she's part of the, as David Duchovny said, the LGBTQIA plus community. So that's why she was there.
David Duchovny's character is he loves Exhibit.
What? Why? Why Exhibit? I don't get it.
Because that's like this part of the bad writing I don't like. Is like, black person enters a room. What does old white person say? They say things to try to relate to black person that makes everyone uncomfortable. I hate that. I don't like that humor. That's not funny to me. Like, I don't. It's not comfortable. It's horribly uncomfortable. It's telegraphed. It's not clever. Like, I just don't like. I don't find that funny. I guess I just.
No, and it also feels old. Doesn't all that feel dated?
Yeah, that feels like an 80s joke.
Eddie Murphy being the angry Muslim dad, that feels... I'm not kidding. This is like 1985.
Are you calling him the angry? You calling him the angry black man? Is that what you're saying, Mom?
Well, that was part of what was the problem was, right? Is that he was being the angry guy, or she was being she was going to be an.
But then Jonah Hill has to be like, no, he's an angry man who happens to be black, or like whatever, however he phrased it. And I'm like, that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, I wish you could, like, I wish like that could be clear. Like, you like, is he just not like? Can he just not say that? Is that just the rule? I mean, that's, I guess, but like. He's not you can tell he's not doing it with malice of racism behind his heart. It's because he's being a dick to him. Like it's obvious to the viewers. There was a good I had never heard it before. Pigment challenged is what one of the black guys called one of the white guys.
that was funny.
That is a funny joke. I like
Pigment challenge, or was it?
It was pigment challenge. That's why I took it down.
It was.
It was pigment.
Okay.
Wait, was it when Eddie Murphy accused his wife? Well, no, not accused, but said like, your grandfather was white. That's why she's like.
Oh, that's why she's got this in her. Yeah. I like that Eddie Murphy casually drops that he's an anti-vaxxer. At one point, he's like, "First you make me take the vaccine to go to the store." I'm like, "Wait, what?" You're like, "Wait, what?" I didn't know that about your character. He says it in like one line, and it's never brought up again. I'm like,
twice.
He said it twice.
Twice about the vaccine. Maybe Omar said it. Someone else. I remember there was a vaccine joke 2 times.
He's
was it the brother?
Interesting character. I don't know. There is the director also put himself in here, and he gets, as a common with directors who make cameos in the movie, he gets one of the best jokes. Kenya Barris, the director, plays the airline passenger who comes and sits in their seat after, and he says, "I've done that. I've done that." You remember this?
Yeah. Yes.
No one else has reacted as much. For me, that was the funniest joke of the movie, but I don't know. And then I started thinking,
that made me.
Good.
That made me mad because they're flying Southwest and no one has an assigned seat. So stop it.
Is that a thing on Southwest? I've actually never flown Southwest.
Yeah, you don't get assigned seats.
Yeah, Southwest,
There's
you don't
no
get
assigned
assigned seats. You can sit wherever you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I've probably been on like.
You have to be in Group A though. That's the big thing.
I've probably been like 100 flights in my life. I've never flown Southwest. I don't even know how that's possible.
Oh, really? I flew during COVID. I only flew Southwest
because everyone always says there's deals, but I never see them. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But that's when I stopped taking notes.
Another scene I liked was when Jonah Hill showed his friend the wedding ring, and she was like, "You're gonna propose with that puny thing?" And they just kept talking about how the ring is so small.
They're like,
She's
we'll
like,
spin it as
"That's embarrassing."
We'll spin it as a Holocaust ring. Then they can't be mad at it.
Oh God.
So
I'm glad that they played that joke out. Like they played it out where she knew like it wasn't a Holocaust ring, because they had to again.
The cringe.
That's a lot.
Yes. I'll talk about 2 big things outside that people have talked about this movie. The first is that there are some critics who could think this is anti-Semitic towards Jewish people, and that it's particularly unfair to Jewish people and stereotypical. It's stereotypical, but I didn't think it was any more so than any other kind of movie. I didn't find it particularly offensive. But I've seen about at least a dozen reviews that have mentioned that. I mean, it does have a very low critical score that could be contributing. But did you guys get that vibe at all?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be more stereotypical if it was like a family that's like I don't know what it's called, like the Jewish
Hasidics?
people that are from like New York that have like that accent and
like a Woody Allen movie.
Yeah,
not a Brentwood Jew, but a Upper East Side Jew.
I don't know what I'm thinking of.
This isn't her culture. None of us are Jewish on here, although Jess is mixed race. Actually, that's a good point. All of us are either mixed race or married to someone who's mixed race. Isn't that interesting?
It's true.
We're uniquely qualified to talk about this film. Yeah.
I don't know that I feel uniquely qualified.
Nah, I don't either. It's so that was the first thing. I didn't really get that vibe. I was like, it's like everyone's kind of stereotyped except for the main 2 characters who are the only people-y people, and that's kind of on that's on purpose because those are the people you're supposed to connect to, and like I want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're right. I thought everyone else was very stereotypical.
The other thing,
hyper stereotypical.
The other thing people are talking about is the kiss at the end. Have either of you guys seen this or read about this?
I don't even remember the kiss at the end.
At the end, so they get married at the end, and they kiss.
And they said white boys use tongue.
Yes, white boys use tongue, yes. And apparently that kiss didn't happen like in real life. They didn't in the original cut of the movie. They're supposed to lean in for the kiss, and then it cuts to black right there with what happens at the end? I don't even remember what happens. It's supposed to cut to black right there, and then instead they wanted to have them kiss and then have the extended dance sequence. So they CGI'd the kiss.
Mm-hmm.
That last kiss is CGI'd, and I read that right before, like, by the end, I was kind of on my phone in the last 20 minutes. Like, I get it. I know what's going to happen. The parents are going to come together. They're going to throw in the wedding. It's telegraphed. But And I was like, oh, that's a really weird choice to CGI. Like, you can't just shoot it, reshoot. Like, okay.
What was the reason?
Is there a reason? I didn't read any more than.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
I don't know.
What would be the reason behind A, not shooting one, and B, then having to feel like you needed it? Like,
wait, you could have easily cut to black with the same song and been fine, but instead they wanted to have 2 minutes of, they had to do the people in the chair thing on the Jewish weddings. I don't know what that's called. The chair dance. The chair dance. Yeah. We're terrible.
Yeah, I'm being.
Yeah, whatever. Like they had to have that dance sequence, I guess. So they gotta cut. Like, I don't know. It was a strange choice. It did look a little mushy to me. Like, if you're looking for it, I think you can kind of tell. I think it's there. But I
have something important to talk about.
Okay, all right. We're getting towards the end. So yeah,
the rehearsal dinner scene. Why were there more people at the rehearsal dinner than there were at the wedding? Like, there were so many people at the rehearsal dinner. I was like, we were going back and forth. Is this the actual wedding? Why are there so many people? What is happening?
Rehearsal dinner scene.
I actually did think about that. There were a lot of people there, but I don't know.
A lot of people, and it was super bougie too.
Because they probably didn't want it to make it like another dinner scene. So they just fill it with people.
That's true.
They're like, you guys already got through the dinner scene. We won't want to have to put you through that again.
We don't want another dinner scene, so we'll just put more people in. So it's like an actual thing.
They go back to the same dinner scene set multiple times too. Like, they do the talking to the imam and the rabbi in there. Like, they do that in there, and they do that, and it's the same seating arrangement. Like, they reuse that stuff over and over again too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm running out of steam, and I still don't know. I still don't know about this. I don't know. All right,
the most offensive thing in this movie was Jonah Hill's hair. That's where I land.
Literally offensive, I suppose you could say that. I was just cringed to death at every time Julia Louis-Dreyfus was on screen. It was just too much. Because David Duchovny could get away with it because he's like dopey dad, and it was a one-note joke. He likes Exhibit. Like, it's not like whereas Julia Louis-Dreyfus is just constantly bombarding you over and over again with things that just make you want to rip fingernails off your hands. Like, it's just. I don't know, Jess.
And why did Eddie Murphy show up at the guys thing in Vegas? Like, they're like, you weren't even invited or whatever. So how did that happen?
Because they wanted to ruin the thing, and he did. He wanted to ruin their night.
Well, I know, but you don't just show up. It's like, and they were on the plane with them. It was like, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, if he's just going to show up, well, is Jonah Hill going to say no? Like, as Ezra's this whole movie up to the point at the end, he's trying to curry his favor.
I don't know. I think I would have.
Yeah.
I would have been like, no, we're not having any parents at these things. Come on, man.
I mean, that's what you would do if these were regular parents who were not crazy about, oh, you're dating someone of another religion and race? Oh, my God, we're going to be crazy.
Doesn't that whole theme just seem so... Why are we doing this in, 2023? Like,
I guess there are people out there that are still like this. Maybe I'm just so fortunate that everyone in my life is a normal person who doesn't make me cringe out of my eyeballs every time I'm in a room with them. The only time I can say, I feel this feeling close isn't race or religion, it's politics. If I'm in a room and I know, and I'm with, and there's a friend of mine who's really conservative, and I got a friend of mine who's really liberal, and I know they love to talk about it, and they haven't met each other before, or I'm like, oh shit, don't cross paths, don't bring something up. Like, there's times in the room where I'm like, I know these people's political beliefs, and I know who's a powder keg, and please just no one say anything, because I don't want to have to lose friends, or I don't want to do this. Please don't do this, guys. Please don't do this. Like,
but that would make sense though in 2023, because it is a powder keg right now. I mean, and I think it goes through cycles.
Like the vaccine, like, political stuff, like, you can definitely
I just don't want to ever
so that makes sense. But just having this feels really it just feels old and played out, and also not realistic to me.
I mean, maybe the Jonah Hill and the Lauren London characters are the future, though. They are not bothered by this. We're all products
I feel like that, but I don't know. I don't know if I have license to say that. So
I think the answer, and I was thinking about this during the movie, I think we need to outlaw same-race marriage. Mixed race marriages only, baby. 100 years?
Hey,
Oh
100 years?
Much prettier.
100 years, we'll get rid of racism, and then we'll do no same religion, and then we'll run out of religion, and then we're gonna eliminate prejudices.
There's not that many religions.
Oh, there's not that many religions. There's like 1 billion religions.
I mean, there's like
and also you can just
make
make your own.
I mean, that's still a
You
lot.
make your own religion.
There's not that many races either, but we still got that.
I was just going to say you can't really make your own race, though, but you can make your own religion.
You can't make your own race, but if everyone just married into each other and just kept having babies, eventually we just all be nice and tan and olive.
I mean,
hey,
I clearly subscribe to that theory.
That's right. I've said it before. I think on the show, Jess is the future. She's the mix. She's the pure mix.
She's got. Hey, look! I gave it a whirl. I tried. I did my best.
I know. No, we're all doing our part.
Trying to get rid of the pink skin. I'm all about that. So
you don't want to. You're pigment challenged.
I'm definitely pigment challenged. I mean, yeah.
All right, Jess, you're recommending You People?
I think it was funny. Clearly, a lot funnier than both of you did. So yes, I'd recommend it.
All right, Mama K.
We took it too seriously. I don't. Only if I think I want to sit in a room and watch people that I know watch it, because I think that would be funny.
I don't know. Is that a recommend or not? Yeah, pick a side.
Do I have to really? No, I'm not going to recommend it. It's not good. It's got Jonah Hill.
Yeah, I'm really on the fence here.
There's too many things on the bottom side. There are funny things, and then there are just things.
Well, I'll say it like straight up. I don't think it's a good movie. I think there's tons of problems. It's too long. It's got bad pacing. It's got weird writing. There's sometimes I laugh, but the stuff that I like the most is the if this was redone as more romance and less comedy. I didn't think it was that funny, but I like the romance. I like the romance, and I wish that it could have been romance with comedic elements, and then they could still do the interracial relationship and the cross religion relationship, and you could still do all that stuff. Just dial the parents down a little bit, maybe have the siblings come in a little bit more. Like, just there's some tweaks, a lot of tweaks, honestly. I don't think I'm gonna recommend it. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I
am glad I watched it though. So, if that helps.
It was a nice. I had a nice conversation. I did go on a roller coaster this movie. I did go on a lot of ups and downs. There were just more downs. The downs were stronger. I don't know if there were more downs, but the downs were very strong. When I didn't like this movie, I really didn't like this movie. Yeah. But there were times that was okay. But yeah, it's going to be a recommend and two, I guess, soft not recommends for You People on Netflix. We kind of came down where critics came down, I guess. We kind of came down in that range. So as a show. So I guess, yeah. Anyway, You People's in the books. We got more 2022 and 2023 movies to talk about. Oscar season's coming up. Stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Instagram tournament. That's still going on as of you're hearing this. It's getting down to the wire. The brackets remain close. It's still anyone's game.
Yeah, not really. Nicole.
Well, Nicole's in the lead, but it's still anyone. She's
Nicole
not
always wins.
It's not a blowout like it was. Like it's been a blow. Most of the last 3 years, it's either Nicole blew you guys out first year, and then I blew us out second year or third year, and then this year is close. This is the closest year it's been so far. So, it's getting close.
But you're talking right now with the perpetual 3 and 4. So
Jess was second once or twice. You are almost always last. I think you were third last year though. Okay.
Oh really? I thought I was always last.
No, Jess, I think you've actually been.
We're duking it out.
I think you've been second, third, and fourth. I think you've been all over the place. Nicole's always 1 or 2, and then I'm usually 1 or 2. I think it was 3 1 year. But okay, yeah, you're always at the top.
No.
You do not know how to draft. You don't speak for the people. That's what the real problem is. You got to be.
I don't. I speak my language.
Well, that's on my Instagram tournament. If you want to vote on the best movies of 2022, the matchups are posted daily, Monday through Friday, and that's Brennan_podhost on Instagram. If you want to reach out with us for questions or suggestions, you can do it there, or you can do it on on our Facebook, Films with the Women in My Life, or you could email the show, filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for being on for Hey All You People. Hey All You People.
You people are welcome.
Won't you listen to me? Until next time, this is Brennan signing off saying thanks for listening and enjoy your movies.
Thanks for listening to Films with the Women in My Life. If you enjoyed being a listener in our life, please rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or on your favorite podcast app. Keep up with the latest from the show on Instagram at Brennan_podhost, on Facebook at Films with the Women in My Life, and on Twitter at FilmsWomenPod. Finally, you can email the show with questions and suggestions at filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. Original music for the show was created by Ian Burke and Chris Iwanek. Original artwork created by Nicole D'Alessio. This show is produced by Brennan Snyder. Thank you again for listening and enjoy your movies.